None of the things that they told you will turn you into a winner. So today I'm going to teach you, I think there's 6, or I might have just added another one, strategies and habits of winners. Just before we do that, I know that I've just asked you, how did they? What was the specific advice that this sort of blue pill feminist era has told you? Just write a quick sentence. So you can say like, be nice, or you can say, don't be mean, or whatever the fuck. Like, okay, we've got to be her best friend, be emotional, to be in touch with your emotions. It's okay. Let out your feelings, react to your emotions. Open yourself, work-life balance so that you stay broke, to be in touch with your emotions so that your girl cheats on you. Just have fun so you stay as a degenerate. Don't make your own decisions, let the education system do it for you. What else have we got? Cry so that your girl dries up for you. Respect everyone, especially the people who don't disturb it. Masturbation is good and it stops you from getting cancer so that you stay as a beta male forever. Enjoy life whilst you're young because we want you to be a consumer who doesn't grow. It's okay to play video games and eat junk food because the nutritionists and doctors benefit from it. The pill is good for you because that'll kill your unborn child inside of your woman. Cry to her so that she'll dry up. Go to college because we profit from you. Hamza's a misogynist. True. the food pyramid, fucking scam. No need to wake up at 5. Don't have an ambition. Grow old and die soon. Invest and save. Yeah, I was going to say no one's mentioned the route to wealth. What's the route to wealth that the normal world has told you? What's the route to winning financially? Index funds, 401k savings, your house is an asset, S&P 500. Type 1 in the chat if your parents followed this. Basically save, work a career, be good people, be good and try and invest, right? Now type 2 if your parents are rich. Didn't fucking work. There we go. They followed the advice, didn't work for them. There's a couple of 2s, which is good to see. Couple of 2, which is actually really good to see, but for most people, this kind of advice is not going to work. Type 1 if this conditions you to be a winner in dating and sex, and type 2 if it conditions you to be a loser in dating and sex. All 2s. All 2s. We tried it their way, we're fed up with it, didn't work. Insanity is if we keep doing it their way. We need to radically change the way that we think and we act. So the few things I'm about to show you today, I expect that to be honest, we're quite base, so I know that we'll kind of accept it. But I expect that it'll seem weird at first up until I explain things, right? The first one is to be selfish. Selfish men succeed. Align your life to you. Who here, if you're going to be honest, just type me, feels like they are actually selfish? And who here type like not me if you feel like you're somewhat of a pussy and you kind of don't want to be selfish and you've been told not to and everything. It seems like most of us are fine with being selfish now. That's good. That's very good to see. Very good to see. Good to see. Who knows where this quote is from? It'll be kind of obvious. But a man's purpose must come before his woman. Why is that? Someone write it in the chat. Why is that? Think about it. Wasn't life about to be good and kind and stuff? Why would we put like our goals and money in front of women? Because if not, you lose the woman. That it has to be the priority. It's literally, by it being the priority, it means that ruthlessly, your purpose and your goals are more important than your woman. That's not what we've been told. We've been told that, in the Hollywood movies that we should obsess over her, right? Just wait till the jock's done with her, and then we can have her finally sloppy seconds. The father who sacrifices his dream for his family is helping no one. Anyone had a father do that and then just had a chaotic household, abuse, he's never there, he's working, he's alcoholic, he's this, your mother's always upset and stuff. And it's like, fair enough, he provided and, he changed his life. But who really won in that situation? Who really won? The father who, for example, let's say he works a shit job, doesn't do the thing that he wants. He didn't win, right? The father didn't win, he sacrificed, right? The mother is dating basically an effeminate man, a boy, basically, at this point. Is the mother wet for the man who sacrifices his purpose? No. So the mother, the wife, hasn't won either. How about the children? The children of a man who has sacrificed his dream, are they winning? No. So who wins when your government tells men that they should give it all up for fatherhood and they should, like children are the priority? Who actually wins when you put your child as the priority? And think about that, how crazy this sentence is. We're literally thinking about right now, thinking to not put your child as the priority. Of course, in a moment of emergency, that's a bit different, but let's say day-to-day life, right? In an emergency, obviously you protect your loved ones, whatever, you protect them more than yourself. But in terms of day-to-day life, would you rather sacrifice some of the money that you could give to your children, or would you sacrifice your goals, your purpose, and then therefore your presence when you're next to them? And you can't help but to be slightly more like mentally ill, sleep deprived. They told us not to be selfish. They told us to be caring and giving. Anyone remember those classes in primary school which taught boys to be as giving as girls? They didn't segregate your classes. Remember those like weird ass classes, like every now and then they teach us about sharing and, or, they read books and stuff. Did they ever separate the boys and girls? No, they raised you in the same way. They raised you in the same way. They gave you fucking milk, which has got estrogenic in it, in a plastic little carton, plastic straw. Made you drink that. Big fucking milk infiltrated the school system. Like, how weird is that? Like, to give water, fine. But why the fuck milk when you really think about it? This is a separate point. It's not even about winning, but I'm just pissed, bro. They convinced your parents that milk had fucking calcium. It doesn't. They convinced it like you'll have strong bones. It doesn't. It was never proven that. It just have 20 grams of sugar and fucking like titty estrogenics in it. And all of us are there developing gyno whilst like drinking it all in one sip. Anyone else like pissed at the way we were raised in school? And this is one aspect of it. What other crazy shit? Okay, like we can't even remember half of the classes where they treated us like little girls. You ever get shouted at for just being a boy, for being a bit rough with each other, for talking a little bit too rowdy, for having too much of like a tribal play style? You've got to involve everyone, including the pussies. You're playing too aggressively. You push, you shoved. Sit down like you've got low T and drink this milk carton so you do. What are some examples? Because a lot of us had said that we've become selfish. What are some examples of selfish shit that you've done? Leave some comments. I'm going to write mine as well. I'll write mine on the screen here. Let's see what we've got. Leaving my friends for work, not spending time with my girl, time for business, prioritizing money over my girlfriend, leaving university, working all mornings on weekends, quit uni and my parents are upset, not going out with old friends, no to playing games with old friends, making my own meals, meditation, and all the self-improvement habits. Now I don't have time for people. Didn't go out with friends, leaving my friends. I cook for myself. I don't constantly speak to my girl. And I ignore my girlfriend to work all day. I didn't help my brother move so I could work on my business. I spent less time with my family. I said no to drinking every weekend. I left my high school friends, left a girl because she's moved into a different university, left my old friends, broke up after a year with a girl to focus on my purpose, skipping school, made my parents think that I'm an idiot, didn't text my girl, deleted Snapchat and burned the bridges of my old friends. If some blue-haired modern day motherfucker was reading that, what would they think about us right now? Imagine this was leaked to like, I don't know, Daily Times or whatever the fuck. I don't know who the fuck watches newspapers and shit, bro. What would they call us? Basically, we just said like, oh yeah, we're going to choose our goals and work over women. We're toxic, misogynist, masculine, extreme, too much, human traffickers and stuff. We basically just said like, yeah, we're spending less time with women and they'll still call you a human trafficker and rapist somehow. Toxic masculinity, human traffickers, too much, extreme, balance is key. Here's my ones that I could think of. There's plenty more. I've broken up with 4 girls that I've loved for business. Basically, you're here today because I broke up. I was about to like add pictures at the end for this sacrifice. I was going to talk about it if I showed you pictures of the girls that I was literally in a relationship with who would like literally suck my cock every day, I'm telling you right now, you'd be thinking, holy fuck, I don't know how Hamza did that. You would literally be thinking, like, because there's girls I've never showed online. You'd be thinking, holy fuck, respect to this fucking guy, man. Respect to this, bro. I was going to say I've deleted. I broke up with 4 girls just to focus on this business. One girl, the first one I lived with, and I had such an attachment to her that many of you don't know this about me, that when I came back, I used to cry whilst brushing my teeth because I had brushed my teeth with her for about 3 years in a row every day. And then when I brushed my teeth by myself, I couldn't help but to feel like undeniably sad, because imagine that, like imagine you've done those small things with a girl for years, right? Many of you have had relationships, but many of you have never lived with a girl. That's when it's serious. That's when you're like, literally, if you live with a girl for years like I did, you can't imagine the fucking attachment that's built up. Plus gamer girl, we're playing games together, fun time, smoking weed, pounding and everything. I was living every guy's dream. Business is more important. Left that one behind, then another one, then another one, then another one. An interesting one. I moved home in 2020, and one of the things I've not really said is I didn't actually contribute to the home finances for about 9 months. So I moved home and I was broke, right? And I was only had like a, $100, $200 income from like government welfare and stuff. And I'm pretty sure I didn't even give any of that to my family for about 9 months. What if I moved home and I felt too selfish? That one comment of someone saying raping is good, and then he went, "Oh, I meant rapping, guys, fucking retard. You're gonna get us fucking banned, bro." they're right, man. What if I came home and I got the job? Many of you don't know this, that when I came home, I started to apply for jobs, and I went in to Royal Mail. Basically, I went into the factory nearby the warehouse to work there, and I had some shifts there previously before university. I went in, right? So I'm trying to build a YouTube channel here, but I literally still went thinking, I'll do some shifts every now and then. It'll be a bit depressing, but fuck it, I'll make some money and stuff. I went in thinking that, I'll make some money and I'll be able to give it to my family and I'll be a good man. I'm at the front and it's like a group little assessment. They're showing you around and stuff. The guy recognizes me, right? I walk in and it's the guy who used to work there about 4 years ago. Bearing in mind, I used to work there before university. I went and had like this life-changing experience. I went to university, had my heart broken, had my first ever girlfriend, lost my virginity, became a total degenerate, got with so many girls, partied a lot, took drugs, got into street fights and stuff, did all crazy shit, moved in with this girl for years and years and years, stayed there till after university, came back, the same guy's working at the front desk. Okay. Starts moving us around and showing us around the warehouse. All of it's the same. The worst thing was I actually spotted a girl who was still working there, who me and her used to kind of like hold each other's eye contact back like 5 years ago. And she was just fat. And it was just like, I couldn't help but just to think like, what the fuck? I left and nothing has changed here. I went home depressed as fuck. And you know how lucky I am that when I told my mum, I was expecting her, like Asian, to say like, "Oh no, you need to work hard and stuff." And she said to me like, "Nah, leave it. Like basically like screw it all off. Like, what are you doing? Like, don't go for these low jobs." And I told her like, I've got an assessment with Amazon, the warehouse with Amazon, and also as a receptionist. So I had these basically job offers, right? And it was her word where, if you understand Urdu, she basically said like "dafa karo," which means like, "Oh, like fuck it off," but not in a rude way. And that was the support I needed to be able to go full in on business. Imagine if imagine my entire life, we only changed one variable. The only one variable we changed is I got one of those jobs and I kept on working it. Imagine me being distracted at that core time when I was building up this business. And I was, like everyone would have thought that I was like doing well, right? Everyone would have thought, oh wow, he's making 1K a month, 2K a month, giving some to his parents. I'd be able to afford a car soon and stuff, right? Imagine what would have happened if I got one of those jobs, even one of the warehouse ones. I wouldn't have built this success. So I had to live with almost a sense of shame that I was living at home and I wasn't actually contributing to the finances. Anyone feel this right now? A little bit of shame that like you're basically a man. You're not giving your parents money. You're not giving them 100, 500 a month or anything. in a weird way, for now, I think that this is the kind of selfishness you need, because the fastest way for you to give your parents more money is basically by you going to get a shit job right now, but then that'll distract from the business in the long term. So this is a very important lesson. How can you be more selfish? Can anyone think of some practical, okay, here's some like autistic step that we could do to be more selfish? Because this is a very important trait. I'm telling you right now, like, I've just made that red pill course. Who's seen the red pill course? Type 1 in the chat. The short version of the red pill course is basically be alpha and you'll start to attract more girls sexually, right? Would the alpha be selfish? Yes or no? Of course. Here's the thing though. What does the modern world say like the alpha good man would be? They say that he'd be generous, he'd provide, right? Is that true though? Like, that's what the modern world is telling you. Like, a masculine man, a strong masculine man provides for a woman who's cheating on him, and he raises a child that's not his, and he's a beta male and he's about to kill himself. And yes, that's a real man. That's what they're telling you. But if you think, just forget all of society, biological alpha male, is he going to be selfish, yes or no? Fuck yes, he is. Fuck yes, he is. Do you think these guys aren't selfish? Imagine if you wanted Eman's time and he didn't want to speak to you. Do you think he'd sit there like a little bitch and keep listening to you? Imagine that with Tate. Imagine if you're boring one of these guys right now. What would they do if they were genuinely bored with your presence? They'd literally, like, offensively, like, walk away, say something to you, right? And here's all of us who don't respect ourselves as much. When there's some boring motherfucker in the gym just talking to you and you're like pretending to be interested, and you've just wasted another like $10 worth of your time. You could be at home, like could have been replying to messages, could have been working on your business. It's interesting that selfishness is seen as such a bad trait. It's a horrible trait, and yet it's exactly what the most successful guys are. Even, you know what? Even like softer seeming guys. How about Bill Gates? Do you think he's selfish? He's sending billions to charity, right? But if you imagine back in the day when he was working in the garage, was that not in a weird way being selfish? He was working 12 hours a day. How about Sam Evans? Working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Selfish, selfish, selfish. All the businessmen you look up to, selfish. They forced life, like they forced their entire life to align to them. So I want to ask you right now and be honest, is your life aligned to you right now, or is it aligned to someone else, maybe particularly your woman? If you've got a girlfriend, particularly I want to hear from you. Or is your life aligned to university or to school because your parents want you to? Is your life aligned to your parents right now? You're not being selfish. It'd be the selfish thing for you to think like, bro, fuck school, fuck university. What am I supposed to be doing to that shit? Fuck that. Basically, it's the same level of selfishness, right? Imagine Conor McGregor or Andrew Tate younger, and they saw through university. Would they just like say, oh, you know what? I'll get a backup option because I've got a tiny peepee. They'd look to their parents and say like, no. I'm not going. Why would I waste my 50% of my 80% of my energy in school, university? This is now it's getting tricky. All of this lecture sounded cool up until now. Now I'm telling you some hard shit, and you're like, oh well, I don't know if I do that. Right? It's a bit scary, right? Being selfish isn't easy. In the future, this is going to look like your daughter saying, like, Daddy, why do you have to travel so much? I wish you could just stay. And you say, well, honey, I've got to work and provide, and it puts food on the table. And your daughter says to you, what if I eat less? Then can you stay at home more? And whilst you're fucking crying in the bathroom, you're still packing your bags. That's what selfishness looks like. It's not this cool thing of like, yeah, I'm an alpha male. It's like, shut up, bitch. It's like literally you crying in the toilet because your daughter just said like, oh, what if I don't eat food anymore? Then can you stay home with me? That's what selfishness actually looks like. Are you made for this? If you visualize yourself in that situation, what are you going to do? Because how different is that to your current girl right now saying, oh, I wish I got to see you more? How different is that to your parents saying, oh, well, I'm sure university is going to be a good backup option? Are you willing to do what it takes to be selfish to your goals? It's an important question to ask yourself, isn't it? Are you willing to look at someone you love and tell them, no, I have to focus on the thing that I've got to do? And they're literally pulling you and hoping that you can say like no to it. It's tough, isn't it? The next one is fuck being humble. Anyone here feel like they are humble? I feel like we're some quite arrogant motherfuckers, and I love to see that, bro. Humbleness is a trait for the peasants and the ultra successful manipulative people. Basically, peasants are humble because they have to be, and ultra successful people, let's say Hollywood actors, they're humble just because they're liars. When they go up in the stage and say like, oh, you know, I'd like to thank all my fans, what they're really saying is, you're a fucking peasant, and I know that if I pretend to be humble, then you'll kind of like me more, right? So if I, like, trust me when I say this, right? If you ever see me get some kind of like award in front of peasants, I'm going to say the same thing. Oh, you know, and here's my humility, you know, I can't even believe I got this. Big shout out to you guys and stuff. Bro, it wasn't you guys, but fuck you all. I've been here 4 a.m. every day. I'd like to thank my few viewers. Shut up. No fucking every Hollywood star who's going up to the front and, I'd like to thank this. Shut up. They don't give a fuck about you, bro. Stop this. I'd like to thank. Shut up. Stop your lying, you bucko ass. I'd like to thank everyone here. No. This was your work, right? It wasn't when a YouTuber hits 10 million, like, and I just want to thank all of you peasants for subscribing. What they're really saying is, you line my pockets, but I fucking worked for this and you didn't. You just consumed because you're a peasant. I worked for it. I created. There's humble, like, this is true, and you can just sense it being true. You can sense it. Every time I watch a cute little YouTube video, which is like, oh, thank you, and I love you guys so much, I'm always just thinking like, bro, stop lying, bro. Stop. I love you. We're all like friends and stuff. Like, shut up. But let's say at the level you're at right now, what's something humble that you could say or believe right now? Think about it. What's a statement you could make that either you could make or you think you should make, or that people think you should make? Let's say you started making your first 1K, 2K, 5K, 10K. Then what? Then your arrogance is going to pick up, isn't it? Let's say you've been grinding right now with this one goal in this plan, and you have stuck to it with pure fucking discipline. You came from being broke with your family, and now you're making 10K, which is more than 99% of the world. And you feel like you are a killer. You feel like you are a productive, hard-driven man. When you start to speak like that, and the world shit tests you and says, "Oh, you're being too arrogant. You should be more humble." What's going to go on in your mind? Because I'm going to tell you right now, what happened in mine. I was arrogant when I moved back home, aggressive, thirsty, like hungry for success. When I got it and I started climbing up 100K, 200K, 300K, I kept on seeing those videos about me. Oh, the problem, the danger of Hamza. He's just not humble. He's so arrogant. I kept on seeing it. Arrogance. You know what my worst mistake was? I listened to them. I listened to these motherfuckers who told me that I should be more humble and I should be less arrogant. And you know what's interesting? This is what kind of person says like, oh, bro, you should be more humble. Think about it. What kind of person, if you could call him a swear word, what would you call him beginning with B? Bitch. Really think about it, yeah? It's a person who'd comment online, oh, bro, I think you're being too arrogant. You should be more humble. You'd call him a bitch, right? And here's the thing. You know what happens to bitches? When you listen to their advice trying to tame you, what happens when you listen to their advice? They leave. So guess what happened? All these people told me Hamza's being arrogant, he should be more humble. I started to be more humble. I started to be more spiritual and calm. And then the same fucking people stopped watching my videos. Then they went to someone else and they comment that stuff about them. It's like, which one would you rather have? Okay, type 1 in the chat if you would rather have a girl who's constantly looking at you and saying like, oh, you're so cocky, you're so this, you're so arrogant, but she fucks you good. Or type 2 in the chat if you don't want her to say those things to you and she's fucking someone else instead. What kind of question is that? It's simple as fuck, right? So when people are saying to you, oh, be more humble, don't be so arrogant, they'll keep saying that, whether to you watching your videos or to someone else. The moment you stop being a bit more arrogant and full of yourself and full of this masculine direction, they'll just go and find the next Chad alpha male to say this to, and they're not watching your videos anymore. How interesting is that? That if you listen to their advice, they specifically will stop watching you. They're literally validating you. They're literally addicted to you when you're like this. This is like a girl saying like, oh, stop being cocky, stop being this, stop being this. If she's literally with you, she likes you as you are. And the moment you allow a woman or a feminine man to change you, they will literally like you less, even though that's what they said they wanted. So fuck being humble. Be arrogant and be aggressive. Think about your goals and literally think to yourself, like, I'm going to fucking get it. Of course I am. I deserve it. I've been grinding like a dog. I've been working like an immigrant. I deserve it. I'm going to take it. I've been working hard for this. It is mine. I am next up. I'm coming to take what's mine. When you stop, I promise you right now, when you stop thinking like this or talking like this, you will see your success in every area go down, including women, including even the respect of the Jeffrey peasants who are saying, you should be more humble. It's so interesting. Those Jeffrey peasants who are telling you to be more humble will literally start to ignore you if you become humble. So you just don't win at all being humble, being this cute person. The only time you win is if you are going to go win some award and you want to basically deceit and like manipulate the peasants, basically. That's a good time to be humble, is like, oh, thank you guys. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Yeah, we're all friends and shit. Like, that's a good time because people really like that. But apart from that, in your own mind, to the men in your tribe, I want to hear some aggressive fucking words, bro. I want to hear some aggressive stuff. I want to hear, I'm coming to take this title. I'm working hard as fuck on this. I'm going to start waking up earlier. I want to hear that from you. You will never, you always hear this in the greatest people that you watch. They are always like killers. They are always like psychopaths with the thoughts that they have. If you heard some of my thoughts, you would be thinking to yourself, holy fuck, Hamza's got problems, but I can see why he became successful. The shit that I've thought about other YouTubers, about people in the space and everything, you would literally be thinking, what the fuck? And I promise you right now, I know for a fact that other guys in this space who have done really well, they think the same fucking thoughts. They think that they're like sharks, like killers. And then what happens is they and everyone else will tell the young men who aren't successful, oh, well, you should just be humble. Now, there's a quick disclaimer I want to make is humble is, let's say, it's basically you speaking like a pussy. It's you saying like, oh, well, I hope to hit this, I don't really have any big goals. I'm not trying to be a champion or anything. Oh, if I make some progress, then that's okay. Journey over destination or whatever, this like bullshit, right? Humility and a student mindset, that's amazing. That's what you need. You constantly are learning. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm a lifelong student, but I'm not humble. I'm aggressive with the learning. So even when I tell you, for example, that like I'm learning, you've heard me talk about myself in weird ways where it's like, I'll literally say like I'm a retard, but I say that in a weird, arrogant way, which you can tell it means like I'm a retard, but I don't plan to be soon. Does that make sense? So it's like I have the humility to know that there is still tens of thousands of hours of learning that I've got to do to get to where I want, right? I'm going to learn for the rest of my life. Anyone else? Type 1 in the chat. Who's literally going to read books and who's going to like work and keep learning from mentors and keep learning from everyone you speak to for the rest of your life? That's not being humble. That's just being intelligent enough to know that like learning gets you more success. Humble is basically you downplaying your success and acting like you're not that great. It's acting like other people are better than you. It's like this cute stuff of like, we'll talk about speaking with conviction soon, but it's kind of like you pretending that other people are better than you. You not talking about your success, not mentioning it. So someone would be humble if, for example, if they were rich and they were like, oh, well, it's not that much money. Oh, like, yeah, oh, yeah, like, they're just speaking like a pussy. Just and there's different definitions. Jesus, you're saying that's not humble. You explain to me your definition then. Depends what the definition is. So some people say that it's about basically being humble is downplaying your success or it's upgrading the success of other people. Again, why would you do that? Why would you elevate the success of another man and basically lower your tea for free? Why not just do the visualization where you see yourself as higher up than you currently are? You're only better off because of that. Let's move on to imbalance. How many of you told that you need a balanced life? Type 1 in the chat. Who's told you as well? Type the mother, teacher, parents. Everyone says it. The rats. How rich are the people that told you that you should have a balanced life? Exactly. It's always the case, isn't it? It's always the case. It's the fat doctor who tells you that low-fat diet is good for you. It's the broke guy in the gym who tells you that you should invest in this fucking crypto or some shit. Or like, you know, the 14-year-old who's got like $500 and he's like, oh yeah, I'll help you trade or something, right? What I have seen from the greatest guys that I know in terms of success, they are all imbalanced as fuck. Like crazy, crazy levels of imbalance. They'll literally wake up, work, barely even eat, and then go to sleep for 6 months in a row. They will train for 3 hours twice a day, 3 times a day, whilst all the little nerds are at home with their skinny necks saying, actually, that's overtraining. Your favorite athlete's training for 3 to 5 hours a day. So we can be sat here like pussies. Actually, you know, it's overtraining. You know, if you go over, well, shut up. Every athlete that you look up to, multiple training sessions a day. Kobe, 4 a.m. Michael Jordan coming in and reviewing their tapes, autistically working like hard. Going to the gym, training for hours, going back home, looking at the video of them just training, and then going back to the gym after that. And then here's us saying like, oh, well, you know, like 1 hour of video. Shut up. From the start, I'm so glad that I've been so aggressive about this, saying like 1 hour of video games is complete and utter fucking cope. You don't need the 1 hour of video games. You need to just read about your business for the 1 hour. I think this is why I was able to climb so fast, whilst other people were taking time off. Like, for example, like whilst Iman was like partying, I just had no fucking life. So I just stayed at home and just kept on working and kept on working on my business, reading. This is what you need is imbalance on the season of your life. So you need to think, okay, what's the biggest priority you have right now? Type it in the chat. What's the biggest priority? What's the biggest goal? Business, money, YouTube. Stinky goal. Clear on my purpose, money, business. Yeah, most of us are at money, right? So you need to live an imbalanced life in favor of money. Everything you do should be aligned to that. Now, this doesn't mean that you, for example, can't do anything but stare into your computer screen, because we know that can, we all understand the concept of like diminishing returns. You know, your brain kind of gets a bit foggy after a few hours. Fair enough. So you need a break, right? But think about it. The break is aligned to money. You're having the break because you understand that if you have that break, you'll make more money. You're going to the gym because you understand if you go to the gym, it'll be good for your mindset, good for your aggressive personality. So that'll be good for the money. Everything's aligned for it. You don't take days off. You don't do this fucking cute, well, yeah, I guess you'll take a day off for like something that aligns to the money. Okay, so money's the biggest goal. I'm going to go for a few hours, go to London or go to the big city, and I want to go speak to some rich people, and then that counts. That's like an experience, which is like, oh shit, that's going to help me, right? Okay, I'm going to go walk my dog because that's going to give me mental clarity. That's going to help me. I'm going to go speak to my mother because I'll take my mind off work so that I can come back refreshed. That's going to help me. Everything's aligned to this one goal. That makes you seem like a psychopath, doesn't it? When you really think about it, you're literally going to speak to your mother because in a weird way, it's going to help you make more money. You're using your poor old mother for like fucking ROI. And I'm telling you, this is what the rich motherfuckers are doing. They know so much about their like tendencies and their work rates that they'll plan, like they'll speak to you because they know that they're going to go make more money afterwards. They don't give a fuck about you. They just see it as a way to get what they want. This, on a day-to-day scale, what does this look like? Let me draw some things down. What do you think the daily schedule of someone who's living an imbalanced life, who's a future millionaire, would look like? What time are they waking up? Probably 4 a.m. Again, and you don't have to, of course, you could have a different chronotype, but just for example's sake, what are they doing after they wake up? Working. For how long? Solid 3 hours, right? Before even getting up from the chair. Solid, let's say, 3 hours of work. And then what? Maybe a short little break, doing something. Maybe, you know, they're getting a cup of coffee, doing something, cold shower, whatever. And then what? Work. Okay, now I'm going to go to the gym for 1 hour, okay? And then what? Fucking work. And then, oh yeah, of course, the 1 hour of video. No, of course not, bro. No 1 hour of video games. What the fuck? I'm telling you, all these guys, you've seen them on Adonis gang and fucking duh, like, oh, Hamza said 1 hour is gang. You see them on Adonis gang, right? Oh, 1 hour of video games is fine. Are they ever rich? Are they ever rich? Think about it. Have you ever seen me or Eman or Andrew Tate or anyone that you look up to who's got the money that you want, who says that 1 hour of video games is fine? It's so interesting that, like, you've never heard a rich guy say it, have you? You've only ever heard these, like, anonymous fucking guys. And it's always so interesting because they always have, like, pictures of, like, Tate as their profile picture saying, like, oh, but anime's fine, bro. So we don't have the fucking 1 hour. Let's say your brain is so fatigued, right? Your brain is so fatigued you can't work. What should you do? What's that last hour? What are you going to do with it? Read. Perfect time. Read. Watch porn and get a testosterone boost for tomorrow. Read. Podcast. Something which isn't going to fuck up your brain more, right? Discussions like this, live calls, right? Think about it. You're on a live call right now. Why? Like, it's clear, right? All of you said, or most of you said your biggest goal is money. You're on a live call about business right now. It's Saturday evening time, at least here. Anyone who, if it's like evening time for you right now on Saturday, you're a fucking killer. You're a future millionaire. You do realize people you know are out right now, like pissing on, like soon in a few hours, they'll be like pissing in the street or something. You do realize like your old high school friends are going out trying to get some stinky hole right now. This is what a fucking future, like, click on, hang on, let me stop sharing. Just look at the screen right now. This is what a future millionaire looks like. Look at your screen. It's good to see, isn't it? When I see young men who are living lives like this, I can't help but just to think future millionaire. When I see a young guy who's in the gym and I literally see him like in between sets doing something productive on his phone, looking at his goals or reading, like fucking reading in between sets. Holy fuck, I can't think future millionaire. How you use your time will, of course, dictate your results in life. And you should, in my opinion, be living this imbalanced life towards the one big goal of your current season. It's very powerful. And don't let anyone, including parents, tell you like, oh, okay, you need more balance. You need, what do people even say to you? But what's like kind of like the shit testing that you've been getting recently? You need more balance, spend more time with people. What else? Netflix. Oh, you need to relax, take a break, focus on yourself, king. Break. All of this shit, spend more time with us. All of this shit test. They're just testing to see if you're a bitch. Because when your mother says this to you, when your father says this to you, when your friends say this to you, they don't consciously mean it, but subconsciously, they say these things like, oh, take a break, to see if you're a bitch. Because the moment someone gives you that sort of escape, let's see if you take it. It's like, let's say your mom knows that you run to the gym, but it's raining. And she says, oh, it's raining. Why don't I just take you? She literally loves you. She's not meaning to test you, but it doesn't matter. The test is all the same anyway. Oh, it's raining. Are you a bitch? Oh, you look a little bit tired. Are you a bitch? Take some time off. Take some time off. No problem. No, I don't. No problem. Just let someone else become a millionaire. It's fine. Just let go of your dreams 1 hour at a time. It's fine. 1 hour. What is it? 1 hour is about 44% of your day, right? So let's say that we listen to these kids who say 1 hour, right? And all of you know that 1 hour is bullshit. No one plays video games for 1 hour. Let's be honest, right? But let's say if it is 1 hour is 4%. You've just given up 4% of your potential to achieve your goals today. You do realize in business, there isn't usually like a 4% competition. If you beat another business by like even 0.1%, 1%, you take everything. Do I have to tell you the Usain Bolt analogy again, where the finish line is there? Usain Bolt's just crossed it. Where's the second guy in the race? Is he 100 meters back? The second guy in the race is literally right there, right behind him. Everybody knows Usain Bolt. Every girl that you know would love to fuck him. Nobody fucking knows this loser over here. Nobody knows him. Doesn't matter. He can sprint faster than I could ever sprint. He's a fucking loser. Nobody knows his name. Nobody ever will. Nobody gives a fuck about him. Simple as that. And you know why? Because 3 months before the race, he had 2 bites of birthday cake. That's why. That's why he was there. So how's this going to look in your life, in your competition then? The second guy's in Adonis gang. How's this going to look in your life? You want to get what? You want to get 10K. You want to get the girl. It still looks the exact same. This is like metaphorical line of attracting the girl. Do you really think you're the only guy who wants the girl? Be honest. If you want a girl and she's high quality, how many guys realistically want her right now? How many guys, when you really think about it? Realistically, probably about 50. Probably at least 10 guys are currently messaging her. If we put her in front of the world, then of course, like 2 fucking billion wallcomers would want her, right? But look, what if getting the girl looks like this as well? And what if you're this guy because of the 1 hour of video games you've been doing? Now, what I'm saying is very toxic. It's very toxic because, you know, you can go extreme with this. Did you really think success wasn't toxic? Did you think success was going to be this, like, you know, cute, happy place? Bro, it's demon. It's dark. It's psychopathic. In this book I was reading, it's called Winners by Tim Grover. And he said, basically, he's like a trainer for elite athletes, right? And he said, he asks people what their definition of winning is in one word. And he said, normal people say cute things like, oh, success, money, status, fame, you know, all these cute words, right? You know what the winner's definition of winning is? Pain, psychopathy, torture, everything, destruction, chaos. If you thought success was going to be this cute little thing where you're just going to, you know, improve by 1% every day, bro, there's guys who are doing the craziest shit to be able to move ahead. And imagine if they just beat you just by a bit. And you've seen this before. How did it feel when basically the girl that you wanted in high school went with a different guy? That was your first experience of getting cucked and becoming a loser, basically. How did that feel? Anyone like had that experience? Fucking awful. Awful. You really liked a girl. And you know what's interesting? That guy might have only been a little bit ahead of you. Maybe even a far ahead because he had like kind of like the snowball effect from an earlier age. He played 1 hour of video games less than you did. And he just texted girls and spoke to more girls. And you know, he spent more time socially with his friends. And that made him slightly better than you. To be honest, we've covered this with the humble one, but I'll just say specifically speak with conviction about the future. So when you talk about your goals, when you talk about your plans for the future, speak with conviction. I wish I could get you a screenshot of like girls replying to me when I talk like this. Because you know, I was having this conversation with a guy in the gym today. He was saying like he had like some girl problems. And he said like, oh, you know, I'm not sure if she was even like the right girl for me because I told her about my plans, you know, my goals. I said to her like, you know, I'm ambitious. I'm going to buy us an island and stuff. And she just like thought I was joking. She thought it was cringe, whatever. And I said to him, bro, if I could show you right now, when I say something like with conviction about my plans for the future, girls say more than I do. If I was saying to this, what was it? I said to my girl, like, I'm going to the top. And she was like, well, yeah, I know you are. She replied, no man can compete with you. I said to another girl, like, oh yeah, I've put words in the dictionary, like Jeffrey and Adonis. And she went, oh, you've put history in the history books. They'll be writing about you. You need to be saying this shit yourself. You need to be thinking this by yourself. Not like, you know, like affirmations are nice and it basically is an affirmation. But you need to speak and believe this. Believe this. How do you believe something? Well, with action, of course. Because there's, you know, I speak to a lot of fucking kids who shouldn't believe shit, honestly. I speak to a lot of kids, like, you know, there'll be like kids on Instagram, like, oh, watch out, Hamza, I'm coming to compete with you. You know how many guys have said that to me? They're nowhere. They're basically never to be heard of again. So some people honestly shouldn't speak with conviction because they just bullshit. It's like, it's always, this is a side point, but it's so fucking cringe because a guy will come to me, oh, watch out, Hamza, I'm going to compete with you. And I always ask the same question, which just destroys them. Oh yeah, nice, bro. How many videos have you posted? Oh, well, I'm just, fuck off. Shut up, you fucking pussy. Don't come up to me with aggression, with masculine aggression. That's like a fat guy saying like, oh yeah, I'm going to get jacked this year, bro. How many workouts? Shut up. Just shut up. Bro, oh yeah, I'm just learning. Oh yeah, I've wrote a business plan. Bro, since we're virtual, like, if it was in person, I'll do it. We're virtual, bro. Grab your hand like this and just slap yourself. If this is you right now, if you've ever commented like, "Oh, I'm gonna take over, Hamza, watch out, bro," like, and you were literally there with zero videos, changing your fucking channel profile picture every day. Like, fuck you, bro. Fucking pussy. This is an interesting one. What does the world say about men who seek status, men who want to compete? What does it say? Status-seeking men, what are they? They're insecure, they're shallow, they're evil, toxic. What else? Selfish, egotistical, materialistic, small peepee. Andrew Tate, yeah, they're seen as weird guys, right? What I'm telling you is masculine men obsess over status. There's like this cute, like, anyone read the book, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant? There's like sophisticated motherfuckers who will say like, oh no, like the pursuit of status is actually, it's kind of like immoral, it's kind of stupid and stuff. You shouldn't be pursuing status. And he's got good points. Basically, it's like this billionaire guy, and he's basically saying like, oh yeah, if we all pursue status, then it's not really going to be a good thing, and we should all just pursue like wealth and like being happy and stuff instead. Fair enough. No offense to him, but like, do you think that guy fucks? Like, do you think he looks like he's got high tea? Honestly, just if you guess what he looks like right now, would you? Of course not. And he's a lovely guy, I'm sure he is, right? But it's like, do you want to live a life like someone like that? Or would you rather live the life of the guys who are competing over status? Again, these men are competing over status. These men are obviously, they fucking fight for it. Going up against E-Man on YouTube, I'm telling you right now, he fights for status. I've seen the shit that he does to pop off on YouTube. It's like he has like a fucking foot on your throat, on the competition's throat. Andrew Tate, same thing. These guys, same thing. They care about status. They care about winning. And we can be here in our spiritual shit of like, oh, well, like status and material success doesn't even matter. All we've got to do is breathe. I'm a hugger, bro. We can do our little spiritual cute shit, bro. But it's just fucking cringe, bro. It's just cringe, man. Masculine men really, really care about status. What is status? Who could give us a definition of status? Being noticed, respect, value, position. That's what I would say. Position. Sakib has said it there. Status is basically this. It's where you are on the leaderboard. This is why like Adonis gang members love the leaderboard thing. But it's true. This is why the school has a leaderboard, right? This is why this is it. People don't like to admit this because it sounds cringe, but I don't want to filter myself, so I'll tell you the real words and definitions, and then you go out into the real world and don't say this stuff out loud because you'll look like a weirdo, right? This guy, what phrase would define him? What's one word that would define this guy? Alpha. What do people think about the alpha? If we search alpha male onto YouTube right now, what kind of videos do we see? The kind of videos that will say, oh, anyone who says the word alpha male, it's all cringe, it's all like, haha, look at all these alpha males, they're all so insecure, they're all this, look at these, like, it's just, you're basically seen as cringe if you talk about, like, being alpha, if you talk about guys being alpha males. Look, it's like, it's a laughing stock these days. Do you get why I made Adonis? It was so easy to fool people. I literally said Jeffrey Adonis, beta alpha, and suddenly people like just accepted it, because if I said beta male, alpha male, people would have thought it was cringe. It was as simple as that, right? Now, who's this guy? What's one word that would define him? Beta. It's that simple. This is status. It is your position in the social hierarchy. Basically, status is your position next to other people. What happens when you go up? Anyone know? What if this beta male started going to the gym and he moved himself to 9th spot and 9th spot had to go down? What would happen to him? He would get attraction from women. He'd get more sex. Maybe not right now, but he'd be closer to it. His testosterone would go up. What else? His respect for himself would go up. His respect from other people would go up. He'd get more noticed by the alpha male. He'd get a safer spot in the tribe. If you're down here, are you safe in the tribe if you're the tribe's fucking beta and you're basically like not seen as valuable or powerful? No. If you're here, are you going to get like banished from the tribe? Probably not if you don't do some stupid bullshit, right? It's like the second best hunter in the tribe at risk of getting banished. If he does some stupid shit, fair enough, but probably not, right? How about the kid who can't hunt, who can't build, who is fat as well, so he just eats, and he can't do anything? Has he got a risk of being, yeah, of course, fat. You get the fuck out of here. Where's your value, bitch? Of course. So see it as completely normal and actually healthy for wanting to move up. And also, you know what? You want to hear a dark part of testosterone? You know, testosterone has been found, Huberman said this in a podcast, not to cause that much of a desire to go up, but to cause a desire to fight off the people below you. Basically, when you have symptoms of testosterone, you dislike people who are below you and you don't want them to be able to take your spot. So if you're fine with this thing of like, oh, well, you know, I don't care about this like cock measuring contest in the gym of these alpha males who pretend they're being confident and stuff, basically you've got low T. It's as simple as that. Because there's a question always to ask when it comes to this primal shit. Would you act in the same way if you had a high level of T, like a healthy level of T, if it was above 1,000 nanograms? Would you still be fine with getting mogged by this one guy who walks in and holds eye contact with your girl and you'd be like, oh, well, whatever, I don't really care anyway, you know, like, oh. Would you still be fine? Fuck no. You'd literally be thinking, man, fuck that guy. You'd get weird visualizations. Like if, bro, when he's on the bench, I could fucking grab this weight plate and smash his skull in right now. You should. But you don't do it. But like, you should get thoughts of that shit. Honestly, you should actually, like, I think it's quite healthy and normal to get thoughts of violence about other people. I really do think it's normal. Like in the modern day, we all act like we don't, right? I have to say, don't do it in case there's any Adonis gang members stuck into this call. But in the modern day, we all pretend like none of us have got dark thoughts, right? I'll be the first one to tell you my thoughts are fucked up. I get violent thoughts. Anyone else want to actually admit, finally, because it's like we all play this game where we're all healthy people. Yeah, I never get, bro, fuck that. I get loads, bro. I get loads. Now, here's the interesting thing. Who's more likely to be a violent person? The guy who acknowledges it and can say it out loud and journals about it, or the guy, the fucking like modern day feminist type of guy who says like, oh, well, that's all crazy. No, I can't do it. Who would you rather be next to? Would you rather be next to me when I've already thought about this stuff and I've journaled it and I've literally done visualizations to think of the point where I might become a criminal to make sure I don't do it, compared to the guy who hides away from this shit? The thing is, we are all obsessed over status. Anyone who tells you he's not is just a fucking liar. And in a weird way, it's so interesting. The people who say they're not obsessed with status, you know why they say that? Because they're obsessed with status, and that's their route to status, is by saying, oh, well, I don't care about status, guys. That's just cringe. Like when someone says, oh, you know, alpha males are cringe and stuff, what they're really trying to do is like play this weird intellectual status game. Having experienced that shit myself of like, oh, you know, status, material success don't matter. I'm telling you, like the life of the kid who doesn't want to partake in this, it's not good. It's really not good. Now, if we could click our fingers and make every human being not care about status or competition, we might be able to advance in society. But can we? Are we all part of the same tribe? Fuck no. We're in different countries. We are in different interests. We live in different cities. We barely even have tribes these days. So we can't convince everyone to give up the status game, right? So that means if we can't convince everyone, imagine all of us right now, we're like, oh, guys, you know, status doesn't really matter. Let's just breathe and be huggers, right? And imagine that there's other groups of guys who are thinking about status. What's going to happen to us? We're about here that we're going to get knocked down, knocked down, knocked down, knocked down. They want what you've got. They want what you're going to get in the future. So either you defend your status or you let it go and basically you add on the body count of your future wife. What's it going to be? It's brutal. It's very brutal. But if you want to slack in this fucking game right now, you don't win. There's no, like, you know, this cute fucking reality of like, oh yeah, I don't care about this stuff, bro. I don't care about making more money. Oh, I don't compete with anyone else. Yes, you do. Whether or not you believe it, whether or not you want to play the game, 100% you compete. The men, what I found is, who actually acknowledge this and just kind of assume it's normal, they do better in the status game. Trying to play this intellectual inverted game of pretending that you're not status driven or wealth driven, you just get less success overall anyway. So you may as well just clearly, at least to yourself, just to yourself, clearly think of your position in the hierarchy wherever you go, school, friendship groups, in the gym, and literally think of ways that you can climb up that. You will never feel bad climbing up the status hierarchy. You only don't want to play this game just when you're not doing so good. It's as simple as that. It's like the guys who say like, oh, I don't care about girls. No, no, no. Yes, you do. You're just ugly. Let's be honest, right? Because if you weren't ugly, if you could get some girls, then you would care about them, right? If you had like 5 girls in your messages who wanted to speak to you, then of course, like suddenly you'll start caring about it, right? So if you were high up in the status place, you'd suddenly start caring about it. The reason why so many young guys don't care about status is because you're so fucking low down that basically this is how it works. Imagine we're on position 56. Imagine we're on position 737,000 fucking whatever, right? At this point, if you climb up to 731,699, what's going to happen from this climb up? This guy needs to start doing push-ups. He's a fat fuck. He's lazy as hell. He's got porn addiction. He stops doing it, does some push-ups, feels the burn, doesn't feel good. He doesn't enjoy it. Is he going to get pussy at this level? No. Is he going to get any kind of like considerable feeling of testosterone? No. So it's like, it's very hard. When you're so low status, it's very hard to care about it, because if you do go up in status, you don't feel anything for a while. You don't see anything. But you remember the Usain Bolt thing. Here's the thing, right? Let's say if you're 30, you're position 30. Now, if you go up, here's like someone else. If you knock them off and they get sent down here, you'll probably feel a little bit. What I'm telling you is once you get to these higher levels, let's say you're position 10, just as a random number, right? When you go up one here, every position you go up, you get 10 times more success. 10 to 100 times, I'd actually say. There's more rewards like it's the Usain Bolt thing all over again, right? Everyone knows number 1, nobody knows number 2. So status becomes very important at these levels. But then what's the competition like at this level compared to these fat fucks? To win this, like basically just like do a push-up on your knees, bro. And do one push-up on your knees and you've basically just moved into this position, right? At this, holy fuck, bro. Everyone's got a 6-pack. You want to be a top 1% man? We've all got 6-packs. We all make over 10K a month. We all know how to flirt with girls. We all will hold your eye contact better than you can. Now what? You want to get close to my level, bro? Like, you'll look away from my eyes when I speak to you in person. Everyone at this level right now has got a 6-pack. We've all got a fuck ton of money. We've all got confidence. We've all got like girls and guys messaging us every single day. Everyone at this level is waking up early, staying sober, close to like carnivore diet, eating clean, meditating and doing all these extra weird shit. There's E-Man with his fucking cryo chamber weird shit. There's like someone with his red light therapy. We're getting the 0.1% benefit from everywhere. There was this ebook I read ages ago which said to get into the 1% is easy, and you should basically be embarrassed if you're not in the 1%. You really should look at yourself and be like, damn, that's fucking weird. Like, I'm literally such a chump that I'm part of the 99. Once you're in the 1%, it's very difficult to climb up. Everyone's got a fucking 6-pack at that level. Everyone's doing shit. Every guy in this level knows how to fuck as well. So it's like, if you think you're going to take one of their girls, it's like everyone at this level knows how to lay pipe. They know how to flirt with girls. They know how to travel, be social, everything. But to get into the 1%, bro, fucking get on your knees and do some push-ups on your knees, and you beat literally 50% of men out there, bro. It's not that hard, man. We're out of time, so you can leave if you want. We've got just 2 more I'll cover quite quickly. Fight for your tribe. So this is similar to the status game. Imagine we have the status inside of our tribe right here. This is our tribe, right? So all the way to level 10 or something. And then this is their tribe. Exact same thing. We compete inside of our tribes, and we try and do that in a healthy, civil way. The tribe leader, basically the alpha male, it's his responsibility to make sure that this is done in sort of a healthy, mutually beneficial way where we can compete by, for example, one guy's going to go and hunt for us. One guy's building the hut for us. One guy's hitting push-ups right now. Fucking G. Awesome. But we also compete against other tribes. We compete against other tribes. Because think about it. Let's say for our tribe in Adonis school right now, there's other programs like this, right? If too many customers go to other programs and they make more money and our tribe starts to go down in number count, what would happen? You'd start getting less value in here. It'd start feeling worse because you'd start feeling like you're on the losing team. Right now, it feels like you're on the winning team. We keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There's other tribes that want to take what we've got. We've got the momentum. We've got customers. We've got like this growing feeling to us right now, this winning feeling. We're number 1 on the school directory. Other tribes will want to take this. Imagine in the caveman days, here we are, all of us inside here. We would have looked out to these people and been ready to attack them, been ready to defend against them. In the modern day, this is seen as so weird because one, we're barely in tribes, and two, when we are in our tribe, it's like this, people don't like this dynamic of like us versus them. I remember Huberman even said this. He was like, oh, I really don't like these like us versus them things. And yeah, fair enough, fine. But like this game's happening. It is happening. When you go out with your friends, let's say if you're going to go to a party, right? Let's say it's someone's birthday and you're like, oh, fuck it. You know what? I'll go out once and I'll drink a little bit, right? And you're also thinking, if you're not going to lie to yourself, you know what? If there's some nice looking girl there, I'd actually like to fuck. I know it's degenerate, but I would, right? Let's be honest, right? You go out with your friends, there's 4 of you guys. That's your little tribe. What if someone's chatting some shit to your friend? Are you just going to do the new age nice boy thing of like, oh, well, you know, I don't even us versus them, you know, I'll just walk away or whatever. You're going to defend your people. You're going to attack the others. In fact, the way that I've been able to build up success is by what? Basically, bringing you guys into my tribe, giving you advice, and then attacking, throwing rocks at the enemy. I've been attacking the enemy. It's the modern day. It's the degeneracy. And the final one, sacrifice. We've briefly mentioned this. Get used to just, well, we can even change it to a different word, you know, subtracting. That's the word I like to use. This is what winners do. They subtract. Winners don't do more than you do. They don't try and add more things to their life. Winners win because they subtract. There's some ruthless shit that you could subtract from your life right now. People, hobbies. You do that and you're more likely to get success. You already know which the drawing was coming, Sevi. So if you've got 10 things in your life right now and you know it's a cute, wholesome, balanced life, this guy's going to fuck you up. What can you subtract? This is the final. I'll give you like a quick like intellectual action step to end things off. Just for 30 seconds right now, think to yourself, what is 1 or 2 things you could subtract that would save you time, energy, and money, and that would save you so that you could put that into your biggest goal instead? You can write it out in chat as well. It could be school, carbs and social media, debate club at school, girls in school, stinky, boring job. Anyone says Adonis school, they're getting fucking fucked, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Attacking boys. Game dev and video games. Now, you want to be careful of this because you don't want to subtract something that, for example, has a net positive, right? So, for example, let's say you could say gym, for example. I want to subtract the gym because it takes too much time from my work. Potentially you could do, but in a weird way, going to the gym might actually make your work better. You might want to just essentialize it and make it a faster workout. But if you stopped working out, like exercising at all, your brain would go like 25% more retarded and you'd be making less money, right? So really think to yourself, what could you subtract? What's some good ones? I'm going to try and think of one for myself right now. What can I subtract? I've already subtracted so much you wouldn't believe, bro. I barely fucking listen to podcasts, barely watch YouTube. I think most YouTube's just fucking garbage, honestly. I barely see certain like most people. I only see people I really want to see with. Yeah, I'll have to think longer about it. But yeah, it's a good question to ask. What would you sacrifice? And also another good question, actually, just to invert this before we leave. What will you never sacrifice? What should you or what will you never subtract? Health, sleep, purpose, prayer, mental health, God, religion, health. Health is a very intelligent answer for that. You subtract health and you lose everything. Yeah, it's so good that everyone said Adonis school in that as well. Yeah, I'm going to go use one of those editing softwares. Adonis school. Yeah, thanks, guys. Like, we've got it in writing. Look at what my customer said, guys. Sweet boys. That's all that I've got for today. What did we think of today's lecture? Let me unmute everyone. There you go. You can unmute yourselves.
Guys, there's some of your thoughts.
Awesome to hear. Yeah, I'm very happy with that one. Thank you for listening in, boys.
Guys, let's do push-ups, guys. Let's do them. Go, go.
Come on, let's do some.
How many?
Let's go.
Fucking
go. Let's go. Oh.
Go, boys.
Fucking hell. Alright, boys, everyone. Sit down.
Ara, estem fent tots push-ups, machi.
Hamza, I did more than you.
We're just still going, holy shit.
Nicely done, boys. I'm gonna hop off. Thank you for listening in, guys. Have a good one.
Cheers, my brother.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.